Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of News Tonight. I am Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed the nation in his radio program Mann Ki Baat. That is our big focus. Also, at a massive rally in Patna today, Nitish Kumar, Sonia Gandhi and also Lalu Prasad took on the Prime Minister. We'll get you all the details. But first up, the headlines that we are tracking. Government decides to allow the land ordinance to lapse. Opposition says it's a vindication of their stand after terming the controversial bill anti-farmer. Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad and Sonia Gandhi launched campaign for the Grand Alliance ahead of Bihar polls. Target Prime Minister Modi for his DNA jibe at the state leaders. Face of the Patel agitation, Hardik Patel meets Jat and Gujar leaders in Delhi, plans to turn stir into a nationwide movement, rules out political participation. Eminent Kannada writer and Sahitya Academy winner M.M. Kalburgi shot dead outside his residence in Karnataka. And India seeks finalization of a global anti-terror pact at the United Nations. Sushma renews push for UNSC reforms with President-elect of the UN General Assembly. Well, our top story, the government will allow the land acquisition ordinance to lapse on 31st of August, setting a new precedent in making key policy announcement directly to the public. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said in his monthly Mann Ki Baat that the contentious ordinance will not be re-promulgated. Here are the details.
The 11th edition of the Prime Minister's monthly Mann Ki Baat was big on declaration and set a new precedent. This was the first time that the Prime Minister or his government made a key policy announcement directly to the public. Talking about the contentious land acquisition bill, the Prime Minister sought to correct the anti-farmer perception about his government.
किसानों के हित के किसी भी सुझाव को मैं स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार हूं, ये बार-बार मैं कहता रहा हूं। लेकिन आज मुझे मेरे किसान भाइयों बहनों को ये कहना है कि लैंड एक्विजिशन एक्ट में सुधार की बात राज्यों की तरफ से आई, आग्रहपूर्वक आई और सबको लगता था कि गांव गरीब किसान का अगर भला करना है, खेतों तक पानी पहुंचाने के लिए नहरें बनानी है, गांव में बिजली पहुंचाने के लिए खंभे लगाने हैं, गांव के लिए सड़क बनानी है, गांव के गरीबों के लिए घर बनाने हैं, गांव नौजवानों को रोजगार के लिए व्यवस्थाएं उपलब्ध करानी है, तो हमें ये अफसरशाही के चुंगल से कानून को निकालना पड़ेगा। और तब जाकर के सुधार का प्रस्ताव आया था। लेकिन मैंने देखा कि इतने भ्रम फैलाए गए, किसान को इतना भयभीत कर दिया गया।
The Prime Minister announced that the farmers whose land will be acquired in 13 other categories have also been exempted under various other central laws as specified in UPA's 2013 Act. The decision not to re-promulgate the ordinance is a big turnaround by the Modi government and a sort of point one for its political rivals.
ऑर्डिनेंस तो समाप्त हो रहा है, लेकिन जिससे किसानों को सीधा लाभ मिलने वाला है, किसानों का सीधा आर्थिक लाभ जिससे जुड़ा हुआ है, उन 13 बिंदुओं को हम नियमों के तहत ला करके आज ही लागू कर रहे हैं, ताकि किसानों को नुकसान न हो, आर्थिक हानि न हो। और इसलिए जिन 13 बिंदुओं को लागू करना पहले के कानून में बाकी था, उसको आज हम पूरा कर रहे हैं। और मेरे किसान भाइयों बहनों को मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि हमारे लिए जय जवान जय किसान ये नारा नहीं है, ये हमारा मंत्र है।
Modi also used his monthly address as a platform for reconciliation, especially addressing areas of social conflict.
गुजरात की घटनाओं ने, हिंसा के तांडव ने सारे देश को बेचैन बना दिया। और स्वाभाविक है कि गांधी और सरदार की भूमि पर कुछ भी हो जाए तो देश को सबसे पहले सदमा पहुंचता है, पीड़ा होती है। लेकिन बहुत ही कम समय में गुजरात के प्रबुद्ध सभी मेरे नागरिक भाइयों बहनों ने परिस्थिति को संभाल लिया, स्थिति को बिगड़ने से रोकने में सक्रिय भूमिका निभाई और फिर एक बार शांति के मार्ग पर गुजरात चल पड़ा। शांति, एकता, भाईचारा, यही रास्ता सही है और विकास के मार्ग पर ही कंधे से कंधा मिला करके हमें चलना है। विकास ही हमारी समस्याओं का समाधान है।
But the focus of Mann Ki Baat remained largely the same: youth, women, children and the Clean India campaign. He talked about the do's and don'ts of dengue, the proposals to build Ambedkar memorials and reached out to the Dalit community. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A news from Bihar, where the Grand Alliance of JDU, RJD and Congress got into election mode on Sunday, addressing its first rally in Patna. Now, with the Bihar Assembly polls promising to be the battle of wits between the alliance and the BJP-led NDA, everyone got a glimpse of what is to be expected. And between them, the trio of Sonia Gandhi, Lalu Prasad and Nitish Kumar gave a word-for-word and policy-wise rebuttal to NDA star campaigner Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
A massive show of strength. The first joint rally of the Grand Secular Alliance in Bihar, the Swabhiman Rally. The Patna rally saw big names in attendance: Sonia Gandhi, Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad and Sharad Yadav. Standing together, standing tall against one man, Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
बिहार की जनता का प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी की सरकार से विश्वास उठ चुका है.
One after the other, all of them lashed out at the Modi government. Congress President Sonia Gandhi took on the Prime Minister, saying he has done little, only slashing allocations to all major social security schemes, including Manrega.
बिहार को और अधिक आर्थिक सहयोग की जरूरत है, जो उसे मिलना ही चाहिए. यह उसका हक है, आपका हक है. मोदी सरकार अपना एक चौथाई समय खत्म कर चुकी है, लेकिन अभी तक शोबाजी के अलावा क्या किया है? कुछ नहीं किया.
Targeting Modi for his DNA remarks, the alliance partners said the Prime Minister has let down the people of Bihar by showing them in a bad light.
अरे जो बिहार का इतिहास है, वो सिर्फ देश का इतिहास नहीं है, कई मायनों में मानव सभ्यता का इतिहास है. और हमारा डीएनए गड़बड़. भगवान बुद्ध को ज्ञान प्राप्त कराने वाली धरती, भगवान महावीर की धरती, किनकी धरती? गुरु गोविंद सिंह का जन्म स्थान. ये वो बिहार है और इसका डीएनए खराब है.
लगता है नीतीश कुमार, लालू इकट्ठा हो गए तो कानून व्यवस्था खराब है. अभी क्या हालत है गुजरात का? अरे बताओ ना मोदी जी, गुजरात का हालत क्या है? सैकड़ों जान चला गया, शूट एंड फाइट है.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी की
Claiming victory on the issue of land bill, the leaders said the people have proven their mettle, forcing the government to bow to their will.
मोदी सरकार किसान विरोधी सरकार है, जो किसानों की जमीन छीनकर अपने चंद अमीर दोस्तों में बांटना चाहती है. देश के किसानों के हकों की रक्षा के लिए हम सभी ने संसद में लड़ाई लड़ी और आखिर में सरकार को झुकना पड़ा.
The Congress, JDU and RJD are jointly fighting the Bihar Assembly polls, with the Congress contesting on 40 seats. The JDU and RJD will fight on 100 seats each. This is just the first of the many rallies planned by the Grand Alliance in the run-up to the polls. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the BJP hit back at the alliance and said that their Swabhiman rally was nothing but an apman or an insult rally. Reacting to Sonia Gandhi's praise for RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad, BJP asked the Congress chief as to what she had to say about Lalu's conviction in the fodder scam. Here are a few reactions on the rally.
सोनिया गांधी ने कहा कि महिलाओं का कल्याण नहीं हो रहा है, गरीबों का. जो जीवन सुरक्षा योजना है, इसमें लगभग 11 करोड़ अकाउंट खुले और उसमें 5 साढ़े 5 करोड़ महिलाओं के अकाउंट है। सोनिया गांधी ने एक और बात झूठ बोली है। झूठ क्या बोला है? कि मनरेगा की राशि कम की गई है। आप सभी जानते हैं कि मनरेगा की राशि 34,000 करोड़ यानी 12% की वृद्धि थी।
ऐसा पहले कभी नहीं हुआ कि जिस प्रकार से जातिवाद का नंगा नाच पटने में हुआ है आज, मैं समझता हूँ पहले कभी नहीं हुआ। और कोई नई बात किसी ने भी नहीं कही। और ये तमाम लोग जो एक मंच पर दिखाई पड़ रहे हैं, ये सब सत्ता में बने रहने के लिए कर रहे हैं।
जिस तरीके से एक लौ बुझने से पहले जोर से फड़फड़ाती है, ये रैली उसी का ही एक नमूना है। महागठबंधन बुझने से पहले एक अंतिम ये लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि भैया किसी तरीके से हम लोग, क्योंकि लगातार ये लोग कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि महागठबंधन की जो गाड़ी है किसी तरीके से स्टार्ट हो जाए।
All right, we saw there huge show of strength by the JDU and its allies ahead of the Bihar Assembly polls, which are scheduled later this year. We saw the top leaders of the Grand Alliance of JDU coming together, and all of them really we saw indulging in Prime Minister Narendra Modi bashing. Remember, this comes ahead of the Bihar Assembly polls, and this was the first time that this Grand Alliance held this first rally in Patna today. And in other news, Hardik Patel has threatened to intensify agitation in demand of reservation for the Patel community. He now plans to turn it into a nationwide stir with its attempts to bring the Jat as well as the Gujar community along. Now, 10 people, remember, were killed in clashes during his agitation in Gujarat, which the Prime Minister termed as shocking in his radio show Man Ki Baat today.
After holding big rallies in Ahmedabad and Surat, Hardik Patel now eyes Delhi. The face of the Patidar movement in demand of reservation for the Patel community met Jat and Gujar leaders to help turn this into a national movement. Speaking to reporters on Sunday, Patel ruled out participation of any political party in the agitation.
हमने कभी किसी व्यक्ति, किसी समाज या किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी या व्यक्ति, पॉलिटिकल नेता का विरोध नहीं किया। हम हमारे हक की लड़ाई मांग रहे हैं। जो हक की लड़ाई है उसे सक्सेस करने आया है। पूरे गुजरात में तो हुआ है, अब पूरे हिंदुस्तान में ले जाना है। और कम से कम 12 राज्य है, 12 स्टेट अभी तक हमें जुड़े हैं इस आरक्षण की मुहिम में। ये बिना राजनीति से होता हुआ ये आरक्षण अभियान है, जिसमें कोई राजनेता नहीं है, ना कोई राजनीति है, ना कोई राजनीतिक पार्टी है। बिन राज के तहत आया है। इस प्रकार इस दिल्ली के यहाँ आने का ये मकसद था।
However, a section of the Gujar community are against any tie-up with the face of the Patidar movement.
वो जाटों को समर्थन आज ही करके आए हैं। अब जब वो जाटों को समर्थन कर रहे हैं और हम लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं, तो उनको समर्थन कैसे हो सकता? नहीं हो सकता।
His rally in Gujarat, which witnessed crowd in large numbers, had turned violent last week. 10 people were killed after his brief detention. For most part of last week, many places in the state remained under curfew. The violence was condemned by the Prime Minister in Man Ki Baat program. However, he also commended the people of the state for their cooperation to keep situation under control.
पिछले दिनों गुजरात की घटनाओं ने, हिंसा के तांडव ने सारे देश को बेचैन बना दिया। और स्वाभाविक है कि गांधी और सरदार की भूमि पर कुछ भी हो जाए तो देश को सबसे पहले सदमा पहुंचता है, पीड़ा होती है। लेकिन बहुत ही कम समय में गुजरात के प्रबुद्ध सभी मेरे नागरिक भाइयों बहनों ने परिस्थिति को संभाल लिया, स्थिति को बिगड़ने से रोकने में सक्रिय भूमिका निभाई और फिर एक बार शांति के मार्ग पर गुजरात चल पड़ा।
Hardik Patel has galvanized the dominant Patel community in Gujarat on the reservation demand. His movement gathered momentum after Gujarat Chief Minister Anandiben Patel turned down the demand. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
An eminent Kannada writer and Sahitya Academy Award winner M.M. Kalburgi was shot dead at his residence in Dharwad on Sunday. According to sources, the two unidentified persons came in a motorcycle to his residence in Kalyan Nagar. While one person stood outside, the other went to Kalburgi's house, knocked on the door and then shot him when he opened the door. He was rushed to a private hospital and then taken to the district civil hospital where he was declared dead. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who was among several to pay tributes to scholar, said that Kalaburgi had denied police protection in the past despite threats. A group of civil society members began protests over the murder in Bengaluru on Sunday.
Really, it's a sorry state of affair. I don't know the things nowadays going. It is really giving some sort of resistance for the persons who are doing good work to the society.
No, we are investigating. Investigation will reveal what, who are the culprits, what was the motive.
Well, the point is that this is not a part of Kannada culture, killing people who are intellectuals. There has always been an intellectual discussion in Karnataka, and suddenly if this takes place, that someone is killed because he has says something that's unpleasant, it's very, very unfortunate.
All right, in News Tonight, we'll take a very short break. Up next, we'll get to all the international news. Thailand has charged a Turkish national in connection with a Bangkok bomb blast that left at least 20 dead. We'll get you all the details on that and much more. Stay with us.
Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. Let's move on in the bulletin now. Well, India pitched for an anti-terror treaty at the United Nations as the president-elect of the 70th UN General Assembly arrived in Delhi on Sunday. After his meeting with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, Mohan Zelyutov will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday. Now, India also renewed its push for UNSC reform after 3 permanent members ruled it out earlier this month.
President-elect of United Nations General Assembly Mohan Zelyutov met External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj soon after his arrival in Delhi on Sunday. Zelyutov will preside over the 70th session of United Nations General Assembly, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address on 25th of September. During the meeting, Sushma sought UN's push to finalize the anti-terror pact named Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. The pact was proposed by India in 1996 to ban terrorists and countries to stop funding or provide safe haven to them. Raking up the threat Islamic State poses in the Middle East, India sought collective effort through the proposed global pact to tackle the menace. India also seeks reform in UNSC as well as other arms of the world body. But India's proposal for reform suffered a blow earlier this month. 3 key members of the UNSC, US, Russia and China, has opposed negotiations on reforms, refusing to contribute to a text that will form the basis for the process. Sam Kutsi, who was the president of the United Nations General Assembly before Zelyutov, had circulated text among the UN members on what will form the basis for the negotiations on the reforms of the Security Council. There are demands from US and Russia that the veto power should not be diluted. Zelyutov will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday, where this issue is likely to be taken up. India is interested in text-based negotiations to continue in this session too, to get the views of all the members of UN and get it voted. India is also bidding for a seat in the United Nations Security Council, a demand that has been backed by several nations, including some of the permanent members too. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now on to the big international story. Well, Thai police have widened their search for perpetrators of the deadly blast in the Aravan Shrine after the arrest of a foreigner early on Saturday. Now, police say that the man could be a Turkish citizen and a part of a bigger gang that carried out the act of vengeance.
In a significant development in the Thailand blast probe, Thai police have arrested a foreigner in a morning raid on a flat on the eastern outskirts of Bangkok. The 28-year-old is in military custody at an undisclosed location. Stacks of fake passports and bomb-making material were found during the raid. Though he does not match the photo from the CCTV footage, police say this man could be a Turkish citizen and part of a larger group that planned the attack. Police say he has so far not been cooperative with investigators.
เราสามารถจับกุมผู้ต้องหา1 คนนะครับเป็นชาวต่างชาติโดยแจ้งข้อกล่าวหาว่ามีวัตถุระเบิดไว้ในความครอบครองพร้อมด้วย ของกลางจำนวนมากนะครับของกลางจำนวนมาก
Authorities have widened their search for more suspects. They are investigating the 200 seized passports to track down other members of the group.
ก็พบว่ามีความเชื่อมโยงกับเหตุระเบิดทั้ง2เหตุที่ทั้งลาดประสงค์และที่สาทรนะครับเชื่อว่าเป็นคนร้ายในกลุ่มเดียวกัน
The bombing on a Hindu shrine on the 17th of August killed at least 20 people and injured over 100, leaving Thailand stunned. People have openly criticized the police investigation that has revealed little till now. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in more news from Southeast Asia, now thousands of demonstrators continue to protest in Kuala Lumpur for a second day, demanding the resignation of Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak over a financial scandal. The crowd of yellow-clad protesters who slept on the streets near the city's Independence Square woke on Sunday to mass exercises and a resumption of the previous day's peaceful demonstration. Now, these protesters are angered by a $700 million payment made to Najib's bank account from unnamed foreign donors. The Prime Minister denies wrongdoing, instead accusing protesters of tarnishing Malaysia's image. The police estimate 25,000 people participated in Saturday's demonstration, while bearish, the pro-democracy group behind the rally, said that more than 2 lakh people were present. And this rally is scheduled to last until midnight today to usher in Malaysia's 58th National Day.
We need to change. We don't want a corruption country. So, if the UMNO people cannot take this kind of a stand, I think we don't want this kind of leader. We want a clean politician. We hold this government.
I think we're showing that the people do have a huge power. We might not make a change tomorrow, but this is a start to show that we are headed somewhere.
And as the momentum grows on Capitol Hill over the Iran nuclear accord, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has said that his country would see positive results of the deal in the next few months. However, the looming congressional confrontation has sparked intense debate between the supporters and opponents of the accord. Now, U.S. lawmakers will vote next month on a resolution to disapprove of the deal. If Senate Democrats can amass 41 votes in favor of the deal, they could block the passage of the disapproval resolution. U.S. President Barack Obama has also vowed to veto the resolution if it passes. The deal that was signed in July in Vienna aims to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. The agreement also continues to attract substantial criticism from Israel as well as Saudi Arabia. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared on Saturday that the deal will bolster Tehran's ability to fund global terrorism.
وغير المقيدين بنقابة الصحفيين والهيئة العامة للاستعلامات. ثانيا حازوا أجهزة بس بدون ترخيص من الجهات الإدارية.
They're attacking and undermining our friends. They're propping up our enemies. So we look at this deal. The single greatest national security threat facing America is the threat of a nuclear Iran. If this deal goes through, the Obama administration, without exaggeration, will become the world's leading financier of radical Islamic terrorism.
And more international news now in Global Buzz. U.S. National Security Advisor Susan Rice met Pak Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif in Islamabad on Sunday. Rice's visit comes ahead of Sharif's visit to the U.S. in the month of October. Both leaders discussed regional security, Indo-Pak relations amid tension over ceasefire violations. Sharif told Rice that Pakistan wants a meaningful and objective dialogue with India on all outstanding issues. Turkish fighter jets joined the US-led coalition airstrikes against Islamic State group in Syria for the first time. The joint airstrikes were conducted as part of a technical agreement between Turkey and the US signed last week after months of talks. The country has increased measures to stop the flow of Islamic State militants through its border and detained dozens of IS militants since early this year. A day after an Egyptian court sentenced the 3 Al Jazeera journalists to 3 years in prison, deported Australian journalist Peter Greste has challenged it. He has demanded the Egyptian prosecutors to produce evidence against him and his colleagues. Mohammed Fahmi, Bahir Mohammed and Grester was sentenced for operating without a press license and broadcasting material harmful to Egypt. And on to cricket now. Well, India suffered a top-order collapse against Sri Lanka on the dramatic third day of the final test at Sinhalese Sports Club ground today. Despite a 111-run lead, Indian batsmen faltered as Dhamika Prasad and Nuwan Pradeep tore through the top order. India were 21 for 3 in their second innings when rain stopped the play for the day with the skipper Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma at the crease. Earlier, Ishant Sharma gave India the advantage, claiming his 7th career 5-wicket haul for 54. Indian bowlers left Sri Lanka tottering at 47, raising the prospects of enforcing a follow-on. However, debutant wicket-keeper Kushal Perera scored a half-century. Rangana Herath also scored a crucial 49 to help Lanka avoid a follow-on.
We are pretty happy after we getting green wicket. So what we need to do is just bowl in the good areas and keep believing in yourself that somehow you'll take wickets. So that's what I've been doing.
And more sporting action in Sports Beat. Kerala star O.P. Jaisha came up with an impressive show in the women's marathon on Sunday to round off India's campaign at the 2015 World Athletics Championships. Jaisha broke the national record by finishing 18th in 2 hours 37 minutes and 29 seconds. She finished ahead of teammate Sudha Singh, who produced personal best time of 2 hours 35 minutes and 35 seconds. The performances earned the duo berths for the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. Jose Mourinho suffered only his second defeat in his 100th home league game in charge of Chelsea on Saturday night. Crystal Palace claimed a shocking win at Stamford Bridge after a goalless first half. Palace took the lead when Bakary Sakho drove in after Yannick Boulassi's low cross. Chelsea responded when substitute Falco headed in his first goal for the club. Palace struck back immediately as Joel Ward nodded in a late winner. Manchester City maintained their perfect start to the season with a 2-0 victory over promoted Watford on Saturday. Raheem Sterling's first goal for City since his switch from Liverpool broke Watford's stubborn resistance in the 47th minute. Fernandinho's bagged City's second goal in the 56th minute. In tennis, defending champion Petra Kvitova used a dominant serve to beat Lucy Safarova 6-7, 6-2, 6-2 in their all-Czech final at the Connecticut Open on Saturday. Kvitova faced only one break point and was never broken as she remained unbeaten in 7 career matches against her compatriot. The second seed collected her 17th WTA title and her 3rd in New Haven after victories in 2012 and 2014. Well, that's it from me and my team in this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.